Hello, and welcome to the final part of Big Story. So, after receiving a vision of cosmic importance for some reason,
I don't like the looks of this place.
he tries to find a way out of the egg carrier. After all, there's no reason for him to stay.
Now, there's no point to my rescuing you. I don't know who would bother to save us both.
Smartest thing he said all game.
We better get going, buddy!
This is the only time in the game that you're forced to use the monorail. Most of the time, you could just exit the egg carrier by jumping onto that circular yellow platform. This time around, for some arbitrary reason, you have to jump on top of the green button on the floor that I just walked past. I wasted some time here searching for an upgrade that it turns out I couldn't find. The auto demo of the game doesn't give you any spawn point for the hotel district. The water is there, but it's invisible because it's an incomplete map. You'll spawn out of bounds trying to get into the Twinkle Park district, and when you try to enter the Mystic Ruins, it crashes the game. The voice actor for Big the Cat is John St. John, who is actually the voice of Duke Nukem. It's kind of funny trying to imagine him saying Big the Cat's voice with Duke Nukem's lines. And John St. John was actually so ashamed of voicing Big the Cat in this game that he purposely forgot how to do the voice. If you need any more proof that he has a terrible voice, there it is. Because even his own voice actor is humiliated at it. I think at one point they were planning to get him in Generations, but they included a different voice actor for him. So you might be wondering, well, what's the final boss for Big Story? After all, it doesn't look like Big is exactly capable of fighting. And you'd be right about that. So, yes, they do attempt to have a final boss for Big the Cat, and it's exactly as awkward as you'd imagine it to be. You know how Big uses his fishing rod as a weapon? Well, that's exactly what you're supposed to do here. You see, Chaos is made of water, and because of that, you can actually fish inside of Chaos. The problem is that the camera does not zoom into Chaos when the lure is inside of him, like it does when the lure is inside of regular water. So, catching Froggy from him is a complete and utter luck-based mission, because you can't properly aim because Froggy is so far away from you that you can't really see where he is from the distance that you are. And obviously the point of view perspective sucks.
The frog is possessed by your tail. Once you get your tail, you'll be complete and
What?
ultra strong.
But when he gets his tail back, he doesn't exactly seem all that more powerful. So why does this plot point need to happen? Also, why does he keep Froggy inside of him after getting powered up? Is he a fan of ridicule? So there's a flash of light, and that's supposed to represent him getting stronger. So I guess he did get stronger. But he doesn't look like he transformed all that much. So yeah, this is Big the Cat's final boss fight.
Don't worry, Pally.
So, he's your friend, eh? No sweat. I'll get him back.
I'll get him back, but it's Big who gets him back. In fact, Big has to have fought this boss before Sonic, because if he froze Chaos while Froggy was inside of him, I don't think he would have survived that. So yeah, like I went over before, this boss is a complete luck-based mission, and it's entirely based on luck how quickly, like, you can get this boss done over with extremely quickly, or it can take forever. For me, it took quite a while. In the auto demo version of the game, the sewers have a much lower ceiling, and that makes it kind of annoying trudging through it as Big, because well, he's big. He's pretty tall. And there's actually an extra lore that can be found in the area where Tails gets his jet anklet. In the ceiling above the pool to the left of Twinkle Park. I'll show the jet anklet off in an extra part. Yeah, see how bad the camera is? I can't even see where Froggy is, even though I clearly... Ugh. It took me forever to get this. But anyways, the extra lore for Big the Cat is a copy of the lore in the sewers. And getting one actually gets you the other. So I missed an upgrade, but I don't really care. I don't even know exactly where the lore is anyways. It is Big the Cat after all.
Go on and get out of here. I'll do the rest.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Come, little buddy. Time to get a move on.
So, now that he's reunited with Froggy, who apparently wants to be his pet for some reason, he goes over to Tails' plane, because Tails hasn't used it to escape the egg carrier.
But I don't know the first thing about it. Oh well. I'll give
That's
it a
right,
try
Big the
anyway.
Cat actually manages to pilot Tails' plane. I'm not even sure how he would fit in there, since I'm pretty sure that the driver's seat would be fit for an 8-year-old. I'm pretty sure Big is too big to really fit in it, let alone drive it. I mean, he's supposed to be really unintelligent, and yet somehow he managed to pilot the plane and get it back home. I mean, he crashed the plane, but he still managed to get back home without too many injuries. So, that's Big's story. He basically just goes back to his normal life, fishing in a river that's way too shallow and doesn't have any actual fish in it, which makes me wonder how he survived if that's his only way of getting food. Sonic actually has a starting point programmed in that lets him spawn in Big's version of Emerald Coast, and Tails and Knuckles have dummied out starting points in areas that are out of bounds in Skydeck. In Lost World, Knuckles has a leftover starting point just below Sonic's. Every character in the game has Sonic starting points in Casinopolis. Amy and Gamma have different starting points for the Auto Demos version of Final Egg, and Sonic, Amy, and Gamma have starting points for the unused 4th act of Final Egg. So, that was Big's story. As I went over in part 1, it's not because it's fishing in a Sonic game that I completely hate it. I would be fine with it if it was fun to play, but it's just not. I hate how there's no real first-person camera perspective, so it's really hard to see where Froggy even is because he's so far away from you and he's such a small target. So it's hard to even know exactly where to cast the lure in the first place. And in order to get Froggy's attention and get him to bite the lure, you have to wiggle it around, but it's not wiggling around the control stick since the lure is extremely far away from where it first started. So if you have it right in front of Froggy and he's following the lure, then you move the control stick to make sure he doesn't lose his attention, and then it just moves extremely far away from Froggy and you have to do it all over again. And I hate how there's a red bar mechanic where the bar fills completely up with red, then you lose a life, and then you have to start all over again. And I hate how there's fish along with the frog, and you never want to catch the fish, because all it gives you is meaningless points, which is only useful in the second and third missions. Just getting Froggy to grab your lure at all, it's a pain in the ass. The camera is atrocious, the controls are unintuitive, and only one guy tells you how to do them, in a place you wouldn't even think to go to at that point in the game, which is not how a brand new gameplay style should be handled. You should be taught how to use it right from the very beginning. It's unintuitive, it's unplayable, it's, well, not unplayable, because I was able to beat it, but you know what I mean. It's just, the camera's atrocious, the controls are unintuitive, the mechanics are overly complicated, Big's story has nothing good about it. And rightfully so, it got the reception it deserved. If you've beaten the game like a billion times, you could beat his levels in like 10 seconds. But that's if you know exactly what to do. Most people are not going to be able to beat his levels that fast. So, it's not fair to say, oh, so many people suck at this game, you guys. The very fact that so many people have trouble with Big's levels at all is a massive hint that there's something seriously wrong with the gameplay. The very fact that so many people hate playing his levels is a huge indicator that there's something seriously wrong with them. So, since we've got a whole bunch of credits left, I figure there's a whole bunch of other trivia that I haven't mentioned yet. In Big's auto demo version in Emerald Coast, he's stuck inside of the secret cave, and you can only catch Froggy. There's no other fish that they're there to steal your lure and waste your time, and Froggy pulls very weakly and never actually breaks your lure. Why couldn't the actual game be like that? It's so dishonest making Big tolerable in the auto demo to create the illusion that he's perfectly fine in the final game. Also, the auto demo crashes if you get Big to go up the slope where Sonic's first spring and extra life box is. And in the auto demo version of Final Egg, Amy's section isn't actually blocked off from Sonic's, so she can go there just fine. And when Big enters an elevator, you might notice him saying ow when the doors close. This is actually because he got his tail caught between the doors. So yeah, that was Big's story. And next part, we'll be going into Supersonic. And it's kind of underwhelming, to be honest.